What's up, everybody? Welcome to the MrMaple Show. I'm Corbin. We got Brian here, and today we're going to be walking through 10 of the 20 trees that are dropping on the MrMaple.com website.
Oh yeah.
At 10 a.m.
Oh yeah.
At 9 a.m. Right now, we are at 9 a.m. The video, airs at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're chilling.
We're chilling. Man, we were carrying in this set of plants for the video. We got some kind of early summer rain going on outside. It's a beautiful day. We need the rain. I'll take it. But man, we got a great lineup for you guys today. I'm excited to get to it here. We also have an open house coming up very soon here in July. So go to the website, check out the details on that. I believe it's on a Friday and Saturday.
Yep. 10th and 11th.
10th and 11th. It's going to be like 8 to noon. It's going to be a little hotter that time of the year, so we're trying to break it up into smaller sections to get you guys in and out between those hot greenhouses. So come check that out. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people come out and get to spend some time with some family, with some plant folks. I love it, man.
Yeah, man. It's just so nice. I mean, yesterday Brian came over, man, to the garden. We was out there checking out my little container gardening, and both of us have like a very different style of gardening.
Yeah.
I think but it's so cool that pretty much anybody can do it as long as you have like a little outdoor space. Like
right.
There's just different ways to do it, and everybody kind of has their interpretations of a garden. And I love like the melting pot that open house is, for people kind of get to talk ideas
right. Yeah.
and tell people their favorite trees and find some awesome trees. It's a good time. Make sure to come, guys.
All right, guys, we should probably dive right into this. We're going to start this thing out with something cool. We got Acer Palmatum Red Pygmy.
Yeah, man. The Pygmy is pretty dope, man. This is going to be a slower growing linear-lobum, kind of giving you 8 feet in 15 years. Just a really, really beautiful tree. I just like the linear-lobums, like the reds. You probably heard me talk about Bihou a lot in this last couple of 10 at 10s, just because that's an awesome tree to have. But this is kind of like in that smaller grouping. Like this is kind of like Koto no Ito, like size range, where you could have Koto no Ito and a little red pygmy kind of growing and filling out together. Really beautiful thin linear lobum leaf.
Yeah, I love this style of foliage. I think it's just so outside of the box, it kind of catches you off guard sometimes. I mean, and they're so distinguishable by that foliage. That's what I love about it. Like when we're always pulling orders out here, it's like a linear lobum stands out from everything else just because that style of foliage is so nice. It's got some great red spring colors on this, transitioning in. You can get some kind of like bronzing and green undertones with a little bit of like blushing over top. Get into summer months and some shaded areas, but holds its color pretty well. And then you get some nice reds and oranges in the fall. So a lot of transitions of color on this, plus the texture. I think it's just overall a great tree.
Yeah, I'm pairing it with other linear lobums. You're going to be getting like some of those have some yellow fall color that they turn to.
Yeah.
And having this kind of like oranges and reds playing with that yellow fall color is going to look really nice. Really good pairing with any other linear lobum. Super beautiful tree. Pick one up today.
All right, y'all. Coming up next, we got another great one for you here. Acer Palmatum Jiro Shidari.
Yeah, Jiro Shidari, named after the elder statesman of Kobayashi Momiji-in, Jiro Kobayashi. Super dope tree with some cool history. In that same kind of style and lineage as Ryusen, with the small leaves going on. Really super beautiful. I really enjoy just how this one looks. I think there's a large one at Buckholt's Nursery where he's kind of cheated. Sometimes, man, you gotta cheat to get the big plants, man. Talon, he busted out the chainsaw or something, cut off some of the big branches, and then did a multi-graft of Jiro Shidari. Made it kind of explode out the sides of this tree. And he's got the biggest one I've seen. He might have had to cheat a little bit on there, but it's also a multi-graft is a pretty hard thing to accomplish, man.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit easier in Oregon, though. Who knows, man? But it was a super beautiful tree. that I love climbing up the branches inside that thing.
Oh yeah, man, this is a cool cultivar for sure. I love that it's got that smaller leaf than what you could see on a lot of these similar cultivars. I'd like to see this maybe paired with like Rikuzen Shidari, which has that larger leaf. So those two could kind of play off of each other. But great for containers. This is great putting in a pot, getting it up on the deck. We've got some kind of like somewhat high grafts here. About 6 inches up from the pot there, but you could stake this up and continue to let it go upward and then weep down, or just let it kind of go from there. This will weep very cascading style here. So putting it on a nice big tall pot where it could weep down around that would be a great way to do it. Excellent. I mean, they're so versatile. That's what I love about the weeping kind of Ryusen styles, is that not any two of them look the same.
Yeah, that's what's hard, man, with the weeping varieties. It's like, do I let it kind of do its own thing and give me like the true shape that it's going to take on? Or do I get out there, you know, stake some branches up, manipulate it around, and kind of force it into what I'm trying to look for out in the garden? And, you know, both of those things are going to be beautiful at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, pick you one of these up. All right, guys, coming up next, we got an awesome Acer shirasawanum. We got Mr. Sun, a Town Buckholz introduction. Beautiful, beautiful leaf on this one. Yeah,
this is a killer cultivar, man. This is a shirasawanum. I love when we get into the shirasawanum species. I like the fact that in that species, they kind of leaf out a little bit later in the season, which is really nice, for especially if you're in a climate where you get a lot of like late freezes or frost, things like that. Kind of leafs out a later time. So it's really nice. And it's kind of like, once a lot of the other spring interests are going, this one kind of comes in and steals the show late. Really like the leaf on this. It's got a nice, you know, kind of that full moon style leaf, but a little bit deeper divided lobe. So it kind of gives that impression of that sun, like it's talking about the Mr. Sun. Really blazing fall colors on this too. Overall, just a cool tree.
Yeah, I love this variety. I think that the kind of shape that it has, plus the leaf shape, is really beautiful. Just kind of spreads out, and then you kind of get these really nice leaves just going down the tree. And then, yeah, the fall color is just amazing as well. I do like how this one is kind of a little bit more divided, but it's not like as divided as some of those like red shirasawanums. I think like the texture is just kind of right there in the middle of like, you know, your kind of super rounded shirasawanum leaf versus your heavily divided one. Really beautiful tree.
All right, y'all. Coming up next, we got a cool one for you. Acer Palmatum Bihou.
Bro, I heard it's pronounced Bihou, man.
It could be.
Guys, this is an awesome coral bark. It doesn't have a coral bark. I know that we say coral bark, but we kind of mean like a specific grouping. This one actually has some yellow bark color. Super cool tree. This is like, there's some trees that kind of push towards the bounds of like fantasy kind of.
Right.
And I think like this one is on there. I think Purple Curl is kind of on there. Ukigumo, when it's doing what it needs to do, is definitely on that list as well. But there's just certain trees I feel like I'd be walking down through like the woods, and you know, there's just this beam of light shooting through the dark forest, bro. And then you look to the left, and it's illuminating like this beautiful yellow tree with like these nice green leaves on it. Yeah,
this is a really cool cultivar. I mean, honestly, it's one that, like you said, I think a lot of people are in pursuit of this. It can be somewhat challenging to grow in those colder climates. We actually give this a zone rating down to 6 through 9 on this, just because, you know, sometimes in those colder climates, because the bark is so thin that you can have a little bit of splitting damage, things like that when it freezes. But a lot of those coral bark varieties kind of need that protection from the cold to really thrive. But this is a beautiful, beautiful tree. I have this growing here in Western North Carolina in full sun in my garden. Absolutely love it, man. It's such a, just like you said, man, especially in the winter, there's nothing else that quite has this color. You have that bright yellow, and you get a little bit of like orange towards the tips of those branches, but man, just really, really striking. And then when you go into the fall color on top of that, you get that yellow fall color on top of that yellow bark. It just intensifies, man, and makes everything else out in the garden stand out.
Yeah, I just love this. my first like true experience where I was like, okay, Bihou is pretty legit. You know, I was sleeping on it a little bit. It's cool. I thought it was cool, kind of a novel little thing with like the yellow bark. But then you go to Elton Lyle's place. You know, it's like early spring, late winter time, and he's pruning on that thing, dude. And it's just like these oranges and yellows,
Yeah.
striations mixing through this thing. Super legit. Pick up Bihou today.
What we got, Corbin?
Guys, next up, we got Shin Deshojo, meaning improved Deshojo.
Mm-hmm.
A really awesome spring interest maple that a lot of bonsai people are after.
Yeah, it's got a really nice smaller leaf, so I think that's kind of what gets a lot of people excited for bonsai, but also just that crazy spring color. I mean, this thing is just this bright kind of cherry pink red. I'm talking lights up in the spring garden for sure. I mean, probably one of the best like spring interest maples. It's been around forever. It's such a popular tree for that reason. But also, I mean, this thing's a pretty vigorous grower as well. You can get about a foot of growth a year on this. Makes a nice kind of ball shape out in the garden, multi-trunk system usually you see on the Shin Deshojo. Really great tree overall.
Yeah, I really enjoy this one. At the bonsai, Brian and I just went to the Blue Ridge Bonsai Society, put on something where I think they invited like the National Bonsai Society.
Yeah, really cool show.
Over to the North Carolina Arboretum. They had a little sales area, dude, and you know, I'm always gonna go check out some plants whenever I can. And definitely saw some little Deshojo liners, saw some Shishigashiras in there, some Goshikis. So it's super cool to be able to, you know, that's something that people are looking for out there. And it's awesome to offer this, you know, on the 10 at 10. I know a lot of people are always asking.
Yeah,
one of the cool things about this one, you get some conditional variegation every once in a while where it will literally look like some Ukigumo type stuff, like turned up to 11. So
yeah, really cool tree, man. A great fall color too, so you get a great spring start and then a great finale in the end. Pick you up a Shin Deshojo.
Straight up treasure.
All right, y'all, check this out. We got another great cultivar for you here. Acer Palmatum Ghost Dragon.
Oh yeah, man. I see ghosts.
You see ghosts, man? Do you believe in ghosts? I believe in this tree right here, man. This is absolutely legit. You know, Matt and Tim, they don't mess around. This is part of the Pendulous Treasures collection. A lot of those other ones like Fountain of Youth, Looking Glass Falls. Ghost Dragon is really cool, man. It kind of does some things that I think we're all kind of like hoping we can break more into that barrier of like getting a reticulated style weeping. So this is going to give you, sometimes it's conditional, but it can be consistent throughout when it displays that. But it's going to give you that kind of Higaseyama style reticulation on that leaf. Really, really cool, especially in the spring when it leaves out, man. What's the characteristic we get when this thing leaves out, bro?
Dude, this thing gets like some nice like border tipping, some like beautiful like kind of purples, maroonish colors on like this interesting kind of like olivey green color, which looked really nice. Something I just like about, I love the name of this one. I think Matt and Tim are always talking about, yeah, we took like the coolest thing, the ghosts, and we took the other coolest thing, the dragons, bro, and like smashed it together. Super cool tree. I think like this is a fun tree to kind of have in a container. Because you know you're kind of going to be able to accentuate the growth, having it raised up a little bit, but also like playing with this thing in the garden, you know, leaving it someplace for a year, moving it around. I know a year is a long time to wait, man. Not in the Japanese maple scales.
Right, yeah.
You know, this tree will teach you some patience if you're moving it around, but like finding like that perfect location where you get like just enough sunlight to like pull out those colors consistently. Super cool. I just like too, everybody will probably be able to grow this in a different way in like different areas too. So yeah, this is a super cool introduction. Ghost Dragon. Guys, it's summer. Sometimes You need a Rite of Spring, man.
Need a Rite of Spring. We got an awesome cultivar for you. Acer Palmatum, Rite of Spring. This thing is really, really nice, man. Still holding some great red colors, even though we're getting into that early summer. These are in the greenhouses too, so you can kind of see how it really does hold that color well. It's got a nice Matsumura style leaf, one of my favorite style leaves, and displays that red color so well.
Yeah, I love that super heavily divided shape. It really does have like a beautiful leaf shape on this thing. I don't have too much experience with this one, but I'm sitting here looking at it. It's Talon Buckholt's introduction.
Yeah.
You know, it gets taller than it does wide, man, giving you about 8 to 10 feet in 10 years by about 4 to 5 feet wide. It's leaving you with a really nice footprint in the landscape. Super awesome tree, guys. Rite of Spring.
All right, y'all. Coming up next, this is actually one of my favorites. I got it in my personal collection at home. This thing is an awesome lace leaf variety for you. Acer Palmatum Baldsmith.
Yeah, I fell in love with this tree fall 2023, man. You know, I remember the first time I got to see this thing in fall color.
Yeah.
It was a super dope. We were at Dan Everett's garden in, I guess, Seattle, somewhere in that region, the PNW. And this guy, he had pruned it up to where, you know, a bird could fly through it, he said, man. And it was just this beautiful spreading habit. Now, you're going to have to do some pruning to get it looking as good as his did. But, man, one of the ones that I love the most is at your house, dude. You know, you have one that's kind of like low spreading. It's like it looks like it floats above the ground.
Yeah.
And during the springtime, as it leaves out with like this beautiful kind of pinkish red color and makes that transition through like the summer, it just literally looked like a cloud, like this little red cloud, like floating right above like your garden, man.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting cultivar. I think it's probably one of the like brightest pinks that I can think of in the lace leaf world, for sure. It has a really super finely dissected leaf too. And it's kind of strange because it gives it kind of the perception that it might be a delicate tree, but it's actually very heat tolerant. I grow this in full sun in my garden here in Western North Carolina. And right now, it's still that crazy pink color that you can see it in the spring. Now, these have been in the greenhouse, so they're a little bit greened out this time of the year. But man, even in the transition into fall, it's such a great tree. Beautiful yellows and oranges in the fall on this. And just the way that leaf is so dissected, it just gives it a really nice airy feel. The light kind of plays through the leaves a lot more than like on a standard dissectum. Overall, man, its habit is super crazy. Yeah, the one that I've got in my garden, it's really cool styling that's happening with it. Just kind of unassuming. It's not something I tried to do, but it just kind of started heading that way. And I really love the shape of it overall. Maybe I can throw a picture up here for you guys. But I love this cultivar. Definitely some great sizes. We got some 3 gallons for you today. Pick one of these up. Acer Palmatum Baldsmith.
All right, y'all.
Woo!
Coming up next, we got a tattoo that you're not going to regret, man. This is a super slow growing dwarf Macawa, man.
Yeah, I like to call them super dwarfs, man. These are really cool. I love tattoo, man. It kind of gives you all those vibes that you want to get from like Macawa Yatsubusa, but in a much like tighter and smaller dense habit to it. And you get a nice serrated edge to that leaf, which plays into the texture of it overall. I mean, it's just such a great variety. I think, you know, I have a lot of small spaces in my garden, and this is one that I've kind of like got tucked in next to some other plants. Looks really nice in that spot. I'm looking forward to just kind of watching it get, especially on this size here. We got some 5-gallon size Acer Palmatum tattoos. I mean, come on now. This is a huge size, especially, you know, coming on the market today. Definitely be ready for this.
Yeah, I know a lot of people online were asking about this one in the YouTube comment section. We have like the Japanese maple fans YouTube channel where we were kind of walking around showing some people stuff. People are like, man, when can we get some you know, 10-gallon, 5-gallon tattoos? Woo! As the 5 gallons are showing up right now.
Right now. Get
I
ready.
know the 10 at 10 is usually where we drop some stuff. We might have some 10-gallon sizes as well for
Yeah.
some nursery pickup action.
Yeah, keep an eye on that website. We're always continuously updating our inventory on the site, so keep an eye on that. But yeah, we were glad to be able to get some bigger size stuff for you guys. These 5-gallon tattoos. I mean, honestly, like, this doesn't come around too often to get one this size right away. So pick one of these up today. All right, y'all, check this thing out. We got a beautiful 5-gallon size Acer Japonicum Mai Kujaku.
Yeah, one of my favorite trees ever, honestly.
Yeah.
Definitely my favorite Japonicum, you know, until that Mai Kujaku kind of drops, or Brian's he's slowly filling out my Japonicums, man. And I love, you know, he gave me
Magetsu.
No, I think it was Atari.
Atari, that's right, that's right.
All right. Brian gave me an Atari, man, and I love seeing like that rounded leaf. I wish that I had them both planted next to each other, but my Mai Kujaku that I bought in a giant ball and burlap actually went to Cherokee. I threw it in my mom's garden. You know, she has a little bit of a green thumb, but she doesn't do much like outside gardening.
Right.
Threw it at like the corner of the lot of the house, and she's like, that tree looks so good out there. And you know, it's been out there for I think a year now. But I just tell her, I'm like, wait till freaking fall happens this year.
Yeah.
Because it's really nice getting established, and the fall color is super beautiful on this tree.
Yeah, sometimes you guys will hear this called the dancing peacock. Now, we all know about Tim's yellow dance, but you've not seen Corbin's peacock dance. It's pretty legit. He'll have to show you guys that sometime. But man, this thing is absolutely cool. I love that leaf. It's got a lot of serrated edges, deeply divided lobes. Gives you that kind of peacock feather that they're kind of hinting around about with that name, especially when it goes into the fall color, man. Oranges and reds, all kinds of beautiful colors on this in the fall. And I just love that rigid structure that Japonicums get. I've got one of these planted kind of in the shade. This is a great one for the shade area in your yard, because you're not really going to lose a lot of the characteristics that you get from this tree, and it actually holds the fall color a little bit longer when you have it in a protected kind of shady location. So you get to appreciate the finale of it a little bit longer. But man, 5-gallon dancing peacocks, come on now, this is freaking awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, it would be cool to do like just like a super serious, like interpretive dance for like a bunch of Japanese maples.
Right.
Post that on the
I got him thinking about it now.
Maple Insiders, you know, on that membership. That's some content I would at least have to put behind a paywall, man, because I don't know if I could just put that out for everybody to see, man. But yeah, dude, I love this tree. It's super awesome. Guys, check out the 10 at 10 today, guys.
Check it out.
There's going to be 10 more trees that you haven't even seen yet in this video. And there's some pretty cool ones that just, you know, they didn't make the list because sometimes they're too good, you know, you don't necessarily need to talk about them. Sometimes we like to talk about a lot of maples here. So you see some really cool conifers that are on that 10. Go make sure to check that out in probably like 30 minutes, I'm guessing, man.
Get ready, get ready. A lot of these are going to go fast, and we really appreciate all of y'all's business. We work hard every day here at the farm trying to provide you guys with an amazing variety of beautiful plants. So we appreciate you tuning in. Take care.
God bless.
Have a great day.